Yeah.
But this is my audience. First one is Blady, then Jeremy, then Crystal, then Josh, and Jed's recording. Alright. Okay. There is a wonder in reading Braille that the sighted will never know. To touch the words and have them touch you back. Jim Feebig. Today I want to talk to you about Louis Braille and his inventions of Braille. Braille has given the visually impaired and blind the ability to read and write. First, I will talk a little about Louis Braille's background, then I'll talk about the invention of Braille, and finally, we will look at how Braille has affected the lives of visually impaired and blind individuals. First, we'll talk about the inventor, Louis Braille. He was blinded in one eye at age 3 while playing in his father's leather shop. Eventually, he went completely blind due to sympathetic ophthalmia, which is an inflammation of both eyes following trauma to one, according to American Journal of Public Health. And this is Louis Braille. When he was 10 years of age, he was sent to the Royal Institution for Blind Youth and sent to the Royal Institution for Blind Youth in Paris on a scholarship. At age 15, Louis Braille invented a universal system for writing and reading to be used by the blind and visually impaired. At age 20, Braille published the method of writing words, music, and playing song by means of dots by blind and arranged by them from enchantedlearning.com. Louis Braille went on to become a well-respected teacher. Though Louis Braille lost one of his main senses, he thrived and ended up being very successful in life. Next, we'll look at the invention of Braille. According to the American Foundation for the Blind at afb.org, Braille is a system of raised dots that can be read by using one's fingertips. This is the Braille alphabet, and these are the alphabet, and numbers are included at the bottom, along with some symbols. Braille got his idea for this system from a technique used by French Army Captain Charles Barbier that was presented to the Institution for Blind Youth. He was the one who actually invented the technique using the raised dots. His objective was to allow soldiers to be able to read and write at night without the use of light. And this is from BraillerMan.com. BraillerPlus.net states that Louis Braille worked with Barbier's ideas of raised dots and developed a more simplified system that is known as Braille today. He based his invention of the code on the normal alphabet and was able to reduce the number of dots used by half. Though Louis was not the one who invented the raised dot method initially, but because of his revisions, he came up with a way that individuals who were blind could still read and write. Finally, let's discuss how Braille has affected the world for the blind. While the system of Braille was not widely accepted in Louis's lifetime, in the years following, it became increasingly popular and recognized. Braille is used all over the world now and in virtually every language. It is the standard form for reading and writing by the visually impaired and blind individuals. According to royalblind.org, computer programs provide and continue to expand additional avenues of literacy for Braille users. Users of electronic Braille note takers are able to save and edit their writings, display it back in tactile and verbal forms, and make hard copies by the use of computer and Braille embossers. Over the years, Braille has undergone modifications, usually from the addition of contractions of words that appear in the English language. Braille has given individuals the chance for education that will help enable them to succeed, whether in the work field or life itself. This is a picture of an embosser device that hooks up to a computer. That way, blind individuals can use the computer. Today, Braille is in virtually every language and around the world, and is the standard form of reading and writing by those individuals who are visually impaired and blind. Despite the loss of his vision as a child, Louis Braille became quite successful for his invention of Braille, though it wasn't recognized until after his lifetime. He changed the lives of visually impaired and blind individuals forever. Braille was intended to give blind individuals a way to read and write, a way for them to communicate. Have any of you ever seen Braille used before?
Me.
This is a picture of a keypad of an ATM, and it shows Braille on the individual keypads. That way, impaired visual individuals can use them. Without Louis Braille's invention, it would have been difficult for individuals to educate themselves and become independent. The invention of Braille gave those who are blind a universally accepted system which helps make education for the blind more organized and successful. And that is my presentation.